Hey, Kentucky X-Files listeners, you got a story you want to tell that other people may not believe or won't listen to you? Well, we will. You can reach us at encounters@kyxfiles.com. Back to our show.
Welcome to the Kentucky X-Files, Season 2, with your hosts Dennis Mays, Tyler Stewart, and Josh Gibbs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode. Now, on to our show.
Coming towards me, just crouched down. For me, at first, I thought it was a distant voice.
I thought it was a bear. You can tell the difference between like a small wood or spindly-legged creature and something with a larger foot. And it was big, whatever it was. It ran straight down at us, and it just stopped. And it was pitch black. Couldn't see it.
And most of these witnesses that have come close to these things could have been killed.
It was beating on the side of the house. I didn't get the side of the house as it went by.
Now, when it stood up, that's when I knew it was a dog.
Like I needed someone to have pure faith in a higher power at that moment, and nobody fucking did.
Welcome back, guys, to the Kentucky X-Files.
Ah!
I really feel like somebody
you really
get us
wanted
like
one
a
last time, and I didn't give you one. So
no, you juked me on that. Like 'cause I was like waiting for it, and you're like,
But it was also half-hearted because we were all super exhausted last week.
I saved
That's
that one.
true.
I saved that one all week.
Yeah.
For you.
You're like,
I kept that one in the tank. I would not let myself randomly do that noise.
It's true.
I
I,
feel
was
like-
actually on the
let's
phone
put
with
it-
him Monday, and he started to do it. And I was
well,
like,
let's put it this way, okay? I guess all the viewers will find this out eventually because you're going to be like you probably talk about it, but I feel like you're just more. You have more energy right now because
I
you
quit.
lift.
I quit Coke.
Yeah.
I quit
You quit-
Coca-Cola. Yeah.
I'm glad you ended that with the cola part.
Cola.
Yeah. I quit Coca-Cola specifically. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did not quit Coke.
Yeah. Coke.
Oh yeah.
Still on
Context.
the table. Still on the
Context.
Still on the table.
And to to keep that one safe for work, I still drink Coke every time I get one. So
Yep.
there you go. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to cite personal reasons. I know there's a few truck drivers, especially a couple of you guys out there to listen, that are going to already know why I left Coke.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a few guys that listen to the show that used to be coworkers, and you know what? I'm going to miss you guys, but the wheel keeps turning, right?
Yep.
So we do what we got to do. But yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking that's the reason why.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like weight was lifted off your shoulders and stuff of that nature.
Definitely feels like a lot of weight.
So yeah, but yeah, you're going in the right direction. So that's good. I'm glad that you're going. You're not staying at somewhere that's not gonna treat you right.
Actually, what was it? Yesterday, I actually slept till 7 a.m.
Wow.
I was like, oh my god.
What's that like?
Dude, it was incredible. I was literally like, the sucky part was I had to stay up till like 3 in the morning watching a movie.
Right.
Just to make it happen, but it did happen.
Just so you know, like there's times where I'm like, it's time to call Denny, right? I'll pull my phone out. It'll be like 6:35. Like, wow, this day's crawling. What time's Denny gonna be up now?
Yeah, dude. Like I'm up. It's just,
Yeah, I've been giving you the 9 o'clock courtesy.
Oh no, man. I gotta move this.
Yep.
So you guys out there, sorry about the episode screw up. Don't know what happened. I know that whatever happened on both the audio file and the YouTube. So got it fixed and re-uploaded for you.
It was for everybody to meditate. It was 27 minutes of silence so that you could think about things in your life.
Doesn't make sense to me is I listen to these multiple times before I do anything. You know, I check it, make sure, you know.
Yeah.
What I usually do is I run it, I stick it back in the file, and I pretty much stretch the file out where I can see all the waveforms, and you can see if there's no waveform.
Yeah.
Or you can see if there's a big, you know, spike somewhere. You
Right.
can go in and you can fix it.
So what I thought might have happened was, because sometimes it'll happen with me when I'm mixing down music, is the first 30 minutes of absolute bullshit conversation that's not fit to be aired that we had.
There's a lot
I'm
of that.
thinking you maybe deleted it, but forgot to shift everything to the left in your DAW.
You know, when I went back to fix it, all I did was re-render it exactly the way I had it.
Really?
And it came back fine.
Because I've done that. I've rendered down a song of ours.
Too. I've done that before too. This was weird. It was
rendered down one of our songs one time. I'm like, all right, why is this 8 minutes? I know we don't write anything this long.
right. This has been an interesting week, though. These I told you I wanted to spring this on you guys too, so we can get your reactions too. You guys out there, I've been watching the comments just blow up. You know, very like we have a small but very cool, like pretty dedicated little community that's kind of sprung
like
up.
20 people that really like us.
I know, it's cool, you know. And I thought, man, you know what would be cool is you know, I've been a knife maker for shit, man, a decade. So I thought, why don't I make a cool knife, and then we'll have everybody everybody's hearing this video right now. You know what? I tell you what do you want them to say? They should type something in the chat, like I'm in or something.
Yeah,
that sounds right. And then we'll pick somebody on the next episode to get the knife.
I don't know. I'm not gonna put you out like the whole the whole likes thing. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you just comment like, do we want to do? Are we the hashtag? Are we gonna do the hashtagging thing?
The hashtag out there. I don't know. I don't really need it for. I didn't really think we needed it for like a.
Are we trying to get them to comment all the same thing or something individual, and the best one gets it?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it just should comment the same, like just the same thing, or I don't know.
I feel like this is a sneaky way to get Travis's address.
Oh my God, no!
We're gonna, well, you know, he wants the very first T-shirt, so we're gonna have his address.
That's true.
Yeah.
Give us a PO box, please.
We need to make a contest for it. The first person to comment whatever it is we want them to comment gets it. Or is that rude to the people that sleep in?
I don't know.
Because then the second shifters.
Some people listen to us at like 4
let's
in
put
the
it.
morning,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
like, on the,
Not the first comment. Let's put it this way: if you comment on the video, KYX for life.
or something.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, let's just do that. Like it's something simple. Hashtag it KYX for life. Whoever puts that in a comment will put you in a hat and pull a name.
I like that.
Yeah.
It gives everybody a chance. We'll do that on the next. So you basically, this episode will go up Monday. Well, yeah. You're listening to me right now, so this is up on Monday.
This is March 28th that the episode is airing right now.
Yeah. So the next episode would be...
It would be the 4th of April.
So the 4th of April, we will let you know who actually... So you got a whole week to throw those comments in there to get this.
But that means by the 3rd of April midnight, it's off.
Gotcha.
That's the cutoff.
Okay, yeah, that's the cutoff. Okay. So, we'll hammer out all the details and we'll put it in the description on everything, and we'll leave a link to Denny's page where he
I tell you what I'll do is I don't have that.
Make it the thumbnail.
But we can throw it in the thumbnail. Well, it's not ready.
Oh.
So, What I was gonna do was, as I finished the knife out this week, I was gonna put the pictures on our
Facebook.
Facebook page.
Okay.
So you guys out there listening on Spotify, make sure you get over to Facebook. You know you have Facebook. Just admit it.
Yeah, just
go
admit
over to our
it.
Facebook page. Check out the pictures of the knife,
And then come to YouTube
and
and
then
comment.
come to YouTube and comment on it.
That's gonna, yeah. So we're getting them on all the platforms.
Yeah,
there. We need traffic.
We need traffic.
So yeah.
And then tune in next week to watch us sell out big time.
Right.
What?
What?
No, but I thought it'd be pretty fun and kind of a thank you.
I like it.
A thank you. One of you guys will have a custom made knife.
One of a
Custom-made
kind.
knife.
And I can attest that his blades are absolutely gorgeous.
And hopefully you like it. It's a kitchen knife.
Yeah.
So it's a very very cool
They're really
kitchen
good.
knife. It's gonna have
He's
a
really good
maple,
at it. I suck at it.
What bird's eye maple is the handle material.
Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
I'm gonna just completely finish it out in Danish oil and it's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
it's gonna be-
excited.
gonna be
I love
gorgeous.
Danishes.
Me
They are
too.
good.
Before we get too far off subject, I have got to thank a listener that comments all the time, Brittany, for making me almost piss myself in my truck laughing. And then I proceeded to tell Denny about it. And he laughed.
I was dying.
For her comment, she was commenting on her own comment that we responded to when she asked if Bigfoot had... Was it her that asked if Bigfoot had whiskers? Or was... I think it was.
I don't know. Maybe.
I believe it was. And, everybody was thinking like a beard. And I was like, maybe she's talking like a kitten, got cat whiskers with a little bit of milk in them or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently she heard me say that in the episode, and she commented, Josh, you pictured exactly what I was saying. Cute Bigfoot pussy whiskers. And I want to thank you, because I've never laughed so hard at a string of 3 words in my life.
Amazing. So awesome. Yeah.
I feel like what I keep picturing as Bigfoot, that would disturb me a little bit if
it had whiskers.
If it had whiskers, I don't know. It just I'm not trying to be mean here, but I don't like cats that much, and it would irritate me. I'll be like, okay, I guess I'm not going to look for Bigfoot anymore.
There's stories of a similar to the dog man, a
cat woman. It's actually a cat woman. I think it's I can't remember. I saw the similar thread about it. And I was like, oh god.
All right. Pretty awesome. Maybe she has whiskers.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
What kind of cat?
On her face, like a cat.
Yeah, that's
on
what
her
we're
face.
saying.
Okay,
what are you saying?
I just wanted to make sure we're on the
okay,
same.
that's what I'm just saying.
So we got us an email here. Moving right along.
We got an email.
We got an email. Okay, from George Ward.
Great name.
Yeah, George Ward. Says here, hey, great show. My buddy Bill turned me on to this podcast right after Josh joined. I believe he might know Josh. Bill makes a good mead also.
Okay.
Anyway, sometime around 2013, I had to travel for work. The night before I left, I went to bed and noticed a huge wolf spider on the ceiling, too high for me to get, so I got a can of bug spray and I blasted him. He ran into the cold air return register. I figured he was off to die, and I went back to bed and left the next morning. I got home 6 days later. Before going to bed, I lifted up my pillow, and there's this huge dead wolf spider underneath my pillow. That's awful coincidental. I can't prove it was him, but I can't help but wonder if he was trying to get me that night and died before he got to me, or if he knew he was a goner, so he hid under my pillow just for spite.
That's amazing.
As far as cryptids goes, I live in Dry Ridge, between Bullock and Bolts. I have a little over an acre with small wooded area where I have my fire pit. Late one night, maybe 8 years ago, late fall, I was enjoying the fire. When off to the north, I heard a series of knocks, something hitting wood. Don't know what it was or how far away, but it wasn't too close. Our property is in the next curve with the road bordering the north and west. The next road to the north is at least a quarter mile away with fields and woods between them. For all I know, it was a farmer repairing a fence. which is the only work I can think someone would be doing in the dark that late at night. Didn't hear any tractors or four-wheelers, though. A few minutes later, I heard more knocks, this time to my south, only closer, on some property behind ours. A few minutes later, more knocks to the north, then more knocks to the south again, then nothing. To our south, it's a quarter mile or so from Arnold's Creek. Recognize that? Arnold's Creek?
I do not.
I haven't
I can
heard
look it up, though.
the knocks since. And a few years ago, someone built a nice barndominium back on the property behind ours, close to where the south knocks were coming from. The area is building up too, and while still farm country, more traffic these days, and so more noise pollution. Especially the new folks who don't have a Cadillac converter. You can hear them 5 minutes before they pass the house. It's those guys who tend to go by at night. For some context, our place is on a high point, the horizon's to the west. I'm guessing maybe 6 miles as the crow flies. I can see the steam from the stacks at Ghent. At night, the strobes on the transmission lines crossing the river.
It's Gent.
Oh, gotcha, Ghent.
Okay.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about all this until last year when I started listening to episode 8, Proving Bigfoot by Pattern. Thanks, George. Well, thank you, George. That's pretty interesting. It is interesting to hear, spiders, with spite.
Right.
They're literally following you home at night, That's honestly like that could get to me. So far, I've been pretty good about not being freaked out by spiders, but that one could get to me. As far as the noises on your property,
He's either got the worst batch of farmers that want to fix stuff in the most inefficient way possible.
there's a reason you wake up in the morning and find out the cows are out.
Mm-hmm.
It's morning.
And you don't fix the north fence, then go fix the south fence.
Yeah.
And then come back to the north fence.
Right. Another guy who listens to the show sent in this. This happened about a week ago, and this was right off his back porch. I'm going to play it here. If the audio is not good, I'll replace it when we render this down, so you guys will hear this for the first time as well. So this is some noises that were coming from close to you, Ty.
Okay.
Actually, not probably closer than you'd like it to be honest.
Great.
Yeah, that's what he got. Said he could hear that stuff around 1 a.m. Went out with his gun. Stood there, decided to try to get some video of it. That's all he got. About 40 seconds of it.
That's pretty wild sounding. It kind of sounds like a cross between a rooster and a coyote.
Yeah.
That's a weird...
It sounds like something like a chalkboard sound. Like,
Actually, you know what it sounds like? And I've heard that similar, probably not the same, obviously, in person versus through headphones, through a microphone. You ever heard a boxer yell? Like the dog?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, they have a yell kind of like that.
Right.
Like, they make this weird
like
noise. It's kind of like that.
it's like a yelp / bark or something.
Yeah,
it's,
but
it's not.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing, and they make their mouth pucker up when they do it, and it's like real wide, and then they pucker down at the end. They do this weird yell thing.
All right. I
See if I can find one.
I listened to it a few times. I checked it, checked it against some wildlife around the area. I don't know. It's interesting.
We don't have any of those like screeching owls around here, do we?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, we got barn owls.
We got barn owls. Okay.
And
What-
screech owls.
I wonder if it might have been that, or I personally never heard
to
anything.
Me does not sound like a screech owl.
It doesn't.
Screech owl, man, is like. Have you ever been walking and a screech owl went off? It's like you never are ready for it.
Right.
It happens, and you're like, "God, what the? Okay." It's absolutely horrible. But yeah, it's interesting. As far as the wood knocks, I heard some. I was actually working on my wife's goat pen one day out there, and I was hammering, and I kept hearing some knocking sounds coming from pretty far. It was weird because it was this direction. You know how we always talk about how we're like, is this the sound? Or are you looking?
I didn't want it to blast through there.
Gotcha. And I heard some interesting knocks, but I kept thinking that, well, maybe it was because I was hammering. Maybe it was me echoing through the valley.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just a different.
It
was a different pattern. Like I was hammering a little bit, and then it was a couple minutes later I'd hear the knocks, and I always thought that was kind of interesting.
Didn't you get a whoop one time too?
I swear to you, one morning I think I did, and now every morning I'm always listening for it, like after hearing it, because it was weird. I've heard, like, I have a lot of family out there, they like to hang out, they like to drink some, they like to party. So hearing a woo every now and again, no big deal.
Right.
But 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, you're getting up for work, it's the middle of the week, and you hear this whoop way the hell out there.
Right.
So for one, I'm like, okay, how is that getting to me?
Yeah, it sounded too far away.
Like, yeah, how is that sound getting to me that clear from that distance? And you know how to. I mean, I'm not able to pinpoint exactly how far away it was.
Yeah.
But when you hear something, you have a good general idea. Like, that's pretty far away.
Yeah, because it's still, even though that it doesn't. It's loud, but it doesn't sound loud. Like I guess you're getting the butt of the brunt end of the noise, but you can still hear. It's like the shockwave of an explosion.
Right.
Like if the explosion is far away, like you hear like the bare minimum of what that explosion happens, but
right.
Eventually you'll hear a lot of it from that shockwave. Maybe it's the same kind of like thought process with voices, especially if it's a creature that has this massive long, like he can breathe, like it can probably produce some type of sound that can travel.
It was weird.
Okay, I could spend hours on YouTube trying to find the sound I'm thinking of, because I had a boxer,
right,
and he sounded a little bit like that when he would yell. So what I'll do is I'll search around, and if I can find what I'm looking for, we'll put it right here.
Sounds good.
And compare it to the original sound here.
There you go. All right, that'll work.
If not, you just heard me say here for no reason.
It can happen. That does happen sometimes.
How far was this? You would say this would have been away from me, like from where I live. Do you
remember? Okay.
Is it where they could?
There was a video that you took.
Yeah.
It has not been posted yet because I wanted to make sure I got the episode fixed first and got that out to the people.
Oh, okay.
So that video that you took should be going up probably, I don't know what time it is, but by tomorrow morning, that video should be up as a short.
Okay.
Nice.
So they'll be able to check that out. You are really close to it in that video. so it's close.
Well,
I don't want to give people's houses away and stuff.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
It's close.
I get that, but like, well, we have the video and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're not giving house names away or the area, but if it's close to that area, well, I'm not gonna say definitively, but it's kind of odd to somebody saying that he saw somebody in a suit.
Yeah.
In that area, and now we're getting sounds.
Yeah.
So that's a.
This was.
It's adding more to the pot now.
This would have been probably 4 or 5 days after that.
4 or 5 days after that. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
crazy.
Right there in the same area. And apparently there was one before that I've searched. I can't find any kind of BFRO record, but I've been told several times that they're not reliable anyway. I don't know how true that is,
yeah.
but I know that there's a lot of discrepancies in pattern, on that website. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I get it, because especially if you're doing a website like that to throw up into your report, you never know if somebody's just pulling pulling the leg and just writing something down, just bored. But then again, it's you can't really dismiss if you're just okay, this sounds too fabricated, so I'm not going to post it I'm going to take it down off the website. I feel like we, just like any other story that we look at, we dig into it and we look at it to see if we can give our assumption, maybe it could be fake, maybe it couldn't be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've heard that too about the BFR.
I've heard a lot that it's inconsistent and.
Well, I mean, who polices it? Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at Wikipedia when it first came out.
Yeah.
It was absolute shite. There was anybody and everybody to get on there just writing whatever.
Yeah, you can just hit that edit button and just type in whatever you want.
It's not great now, but but
it's dangerous stuff back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when we could add each other to Wikipedia. Oh my God.
Pause.
Hey guys, we want to hear your unexplained stories. You want to be a phone-in guest, or just email it to us at encounters@kyxfiles.com. Back to the show. Yeah. So stuff. Okay, look. You said we had some technical, some little difficulties here. Denny's going to have to run out here soon, so
going to have to leave.
We're going to
a little bit.
I had something that I wanted to talk to you guys about because it's been on my mind, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can get it. I feel like I got a lot of caffeine in me that I can really talk about it.
You're
but I might
really
study.
Hyper sounding.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get it done here, man. I'm trying to help you out. But he has to leave here soon, so like that.
Well, the cool thing is you could slow it down and post.
I could slow him back down after.
But I'm going to sound like John Coffey from Green Mile if you do that. You could slow him down. Was the missus pleased?
But yeah, let's. It's going to be a short episode. Sorry, but we'll pick it back up next week. But yeah, I had it's something that just popped in my brain, and it's a mystery, and I really wanted to talk about it. Is dragons?
Yeah.
I know we have, every religion has some type of their depiction on dragons.
And religions, depending on which religion you're talking about, most of our religions depict a dragon as something evil. Western culture, all the way from, Russia and, West was basically dragons are monsters. But then in the East, dragons are sacred and beloved.
And good luck.
And good luck, yeah.
So, I was just, thinking of, so...
Except for Valcor. That was a Western dragon that was electric.
Valcor was pretty badass.
But what I was, trying to think of, how could this thing exist? Let's kind of, everybody would be considering this as a reptile-style creature. Because it had scales,
flying reptile.
But if you're it kind of still looked like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
So, but what's the main thing that people say? What's the ancestor to a dinosaur nowadays? It's a bird, right? It's
Yeah.
like I think chickens is the closest relative to a T-Rex.
The problem I have with actual depiction of dragon
Yeah.
is it has 4 legs and a pair of wings sprouted off its back.
Well, that's the dragon, but what about like wyverns?
The wyvern is to me the more realistic approach.
Okay, like
'Cause it's like, dude, you could kind of follow an evolutionary path there.
Okay, because
you know?
it's a creature that's because we like
it's
birds.
There's wings that's its arms. I mean, birds are like that, you know.
And we can
The pterosaurs did that.
What about the actual big dinosaur back in the day, the flying dinosaur, the Quetzal?
Dude, oh my God. I was about to say something about that because, in all honesty, dude, we didn't even need dragons.
Yeah.
If the Quetzal would have made it to now,
Oh my God.
we wouldn't need to think of like scary stuff because it would be terrifying.
I remember how they got their prey was terrifying. They would stay up in the air for most of the time. They were they flew all the time.
Yeah.
But when they wanted to come down to get prey, that freaking beak.
Yeah.
They would come down, impale you, and then take you somewhere. They will impale the prey, and then take you somewhere. That is oh my God! Yeah, like you say,
that this thing was the size of a school bus. You know what I mean? And like I said, dude, if that would have survived, I don't even think we would have needed dragons.
Yeah,
that would have been horrible.
Right, and then there was the Drake, right?
Drake.
I was trying to remember what it was. If it was Draco or Drake. The Drake is basically the dragon without wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's dragon, wyvern, drake, lindworm, worm, and I'm gonna butcher this one here, amphitere, which is basically a dragon without feet or legs at all.
The 5 of them.
The 5 of them. Yeah, that's what it is. It's
Rouse the 5
lindworm and worm.
Worm.
Okay, let's just put it this way. Let's cut it down. Like, okay, a creature like that may have existed. Something that a big flying creature, Quetzal, has been proven. So there's something similar to it, but the fire-breathing part. I can understand, there's countless species out there that have, some type of delivery system. Like, they can deliver venom.
Right.
Their body produces venom that they can attack their prey with.
Electricity.
What's that one lizard that shoots blood out of their eyes?
Yeah, it's an amphibian.
What's the Komodo dragon? I heard that their saliva.
Yeah, their saliva's got so much shit in it that it can
it eats
kill you in
it's
days.
like acid to skin. It's
what kind of an asshole do you have to be to bite something and then be like, yeah, man, you're good. My bad.
My bad.
And you go running off, and he's like, he'll be dead in a couple days. I'll find his ass.
Yeah, your arm will start to decay or burn away.
It's like, dude, I hate to say it, but that's a shit move. Because you think like a crocodile.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'm just gonna eat you whole, man. I'm sorry.
If you're gonna fight me, I'll roll.
Higher. And he just takes you to the bottom and he eats you.
Do we have anything in the animal kingdom besides insects that has more than 2 legs with wings?
I don't think so.
Because bats don't. Bats got 2 legs.
Yeah.
Birds all have 2 legs.
Right.
What else flies?
Even bats' evolutionary path has been, that's nuts. Flightless bats.
Yeah.
They look ridiculous.
So, so what would cause something that, I could see it producing some type of venom.
Right.
If it was, if it could have been real. But it would have to have, some type of spark that it would create and some type of fluid.
So what if it was a linguistic problem?
Wait, okay, I'm done. What is linguistic?
Language. What if it's a language translational problem?
When did the fire-breathing dragon actually first get talked about? Was it in history or was it in movies?
It was storybooks? I believe it was in history. It was in the a lot of the stories from Camelot and all that.
Gotcha.
But my thought is, what if the translation for the word fire was not represented properly? So we already have in history an animal a dinosaur that would spit an acid on you.
And it would burn like fire. Okay, I get
You see where I'm going with this?
They're kind of adding to it, so
The translation was off, you know. Maybe maybe the word burn and the word fire from the original translation were.
And then it started to gradually. I had another idea for it, especially in war times. I would always think that you'd see dragons on, like, they always depict, you want the mightiest creature to show your, like, basically be your mascot.
Gotcha, yeah.
So back in those times, like, I know, like, how they would use it to basically put fear into people, like makes up stories to make their, like, basically make themselves, in a way, it's our way of making ourselves puff up to make us look big.
Yeah, I know this.
Like,
I like, you just brought up something that reminded me of something I read, and it was that exact thing. It was a battle between the Turks and Vlad the Impaler, and it was dusk or whatever, and it was starting to become a fog.
Oh yeah, I think I know the story.
And he pulled his troops out during the fog, and they released bats from cages that were all flying basically away from the sunset at the enemy. So the enemy was getting hit by these bats and literally getting infected and stuff. But to their mind, they thought that Vlad's his soldiers just turned into bats and came after him.
And that's where the idea that vampires turn into bats comes from. Yeah,
it was interesting. But
so again, but the linguistics of it, you know,
and like in that fear, like, because we didn't, like, because, like, okay, today if that happened, I think it would freak you out. But then you could, like, think, like,
you could work it out.
you could have worked it out in your mind, because, like, I think it says it, like, we always, like, say it in the history, like, if we keep repeating something, how's it, like, history is supposed to, like, I can't remember the saying, something, it's doomed to repeat itself or something.
History, yeah.
Like, so
if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. So you're basically learning from it in that retrospect. So I think that's kind of like how dragons became so embellished. And it's another thing, and I've always said this in the shows, the episodes and stuff, it's a crazy thing of telephone. It's like somebody put something, like, made this creature in a story, and then somebody else told the story and added something to it, because it was probably a story about a great warrior that was part of their people, and they're embellishing.
What were the castles made of?
Stone.
Where do you get stone?
From the earth.
What else do you find in the earth?
Bones.
Fossils.
Well, that's another thing too.
There's your dragons, you know. I mean,
yeah, if you're looking at that,
it would have reinforced every belief.
Well, that's also your Cyclops, a mammoth skull.
Yeah,
looks exactly like a. Have you ever seen the artist rendition? If you took actual creatures, their skulls, and then what an artist could draw over it, and it's really freaky, and it kind of makes you go, oh, okay,
yeah. So
this is maybe what they saw.
They're like, oh, there's dragons out there, and they find these bones, and that just seals the deal. It's like, oh, dude, if you were back then and you had no idea what a dinosaur was, and there's this giant rib cage, or creature skeleton, and somebody says, dude, it's a dragon, you're instantly gonna be like, dude, that's a motherfucking dragon. That's a dragon.
So yeah,
Holy
like, so you're
shit.
saying that it could have added to the stories, like they've heard the stories of these giant creatures with teeth and stuff, and breathe fire, and then they see these things,
and then you have embellishment. So you got, all right, so say John the First kills a 5-foot Komodo dragon that spit on somebody and burned his skin. Well, by the time you get to the 50th person that's heard it, maybe that 5-foot dragon's gained a foot for every person.
Now wings.
Yeah, and now wings. And could fly. It was really fast at running. It flew.
Also, too, is nowadays we have something called, categorical science.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that back then.
Right.
If there was any odd creature back then, this oddball creature that nobody really understood, more than likely it would have been killed or chased down or both, and then discarded in some way.
So, like,
and there's no science back then to categorize it and study it and keep it around for us.
But I'm
you know?
asking this, like, how did, okay, what's that, like, he said that, like, he was talking about the, what was it, the Dilo, the one that actually...
Dilophosaur?
Yeah, the Dilophosaur actually spit, like, some type of, like, blinding acid or
allegedly.
That's what,
you know what I mean?
But
It's
that's what I'm
alleged,
saying.
yeah.
How did they...
They think.
Like, what did they... How did they figure that out? Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, how do we not know that there's a creature out there that had something that it produced in itself that could make, maybe not like a huge flame, but
I might
something.
have my dinosaurs mixed up here, but I thought it was because the skull they found of the Dilo had spots where the, like, pits would have fit. Or something along the lines where they that's like their whole thing was based on that there's modern day animals that can do the same thing, like the spitting cobra can do it.
Okay.
And it had like a similar thing going on that the cobra does.
Okay.
So they were like, oh yeah, well this thing probably spit, and it was good sized critter. So you know what I mean?
Okay. That makes sense because they're taking what we have now.
It had
and
the connection points for the frills too, didn't it? Like a frilled lizard.
Yeah.
Okay, so in all honesty, yeah, the dragon probably not a real.
Dude, that's
like,
the bad part is no one on this planet can say that dragon didn't exist. No one can say the wyvern didn't exist. The reason is because there's so much shit. There's so much weird shit in that fossil, like history that we've never even seen. And dude, we've only seen a fraction of the weird shit that we have seen. And it doesn't make any sense,
It kind of goes back to what Travis was talking. Said I think we said it back in one of the last episodes. We'll probably never actually know how many creatures species actually lived because fossilization.
It's not a sure thing.
Yeah, we've probably only scratched the surface on what we actually know that lived back in those days.
I saw a fake documentary on one of the either History or Discovery. I'm sure it was Discovery because they were really good at that for a little bit about dragons.
I remember that.
And they were talking about the the methane gland.
That was really good.
Was how they did it. And it was, it's so off the wall. The ignition source was never explained, but
so was it like something that like, okay, you would get methane from shit. So is it saying that it was like a tube that came from its butt or something that kind of traveled?
There should be trace amounts of methane just in a burp.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was just a methane storage system.
But how would it spark it though?
That was the thing is.
It would scoop up rock and keep it in its gut, like modern day birds.
Okay. Like it just knew which one the flint rocks were. Yeah.
He just knew.
He had an iron tooth and a flint rock in his mouth, and right. Yeah. I mean,
Bicchiosaur.
Well, Bicchiosaur. Zipposaurus. But I mean, like compression would do it.
That's true. Yeah.
That's how diesel engines run. There's no ignition source. It's compression.
That would be pretty wild. I'm just saying it. Like I don't know if it would breathe fire, but I mean, actually look at the wyvern.
Or maybe
out of all of them, just look at the wyvern, man, and just you can't help but look at it and go, dude, this is probably the most reasonable of the
the drake. The drake's
or the drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Komodo dragons kind of like they would be.
They look just like a drake.
Yeah, their body type would be considered kind of like a drake.
And there was ancestors of the Komodo dragon, Mello. What is it? Megalo. Shit. I can't remember the name of it.
Insert Latin phrase here.
Yeah. Megalania.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically a gigantic Komodo dragon.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the Megalania.
Megalania, yeah. I believe it was. Might have to fact check me on that, Travis.
Like sea serpents.
Fact check me, Travis.
Like sea serpents, I would say like some type of like giant eel or something.
Right.
Like those.
And who knows what animals left over in prehistory that coincided with humans that we put these mythical creatures titles to
Yeah.
that may have not as been as big as they said,
Right.
or as dangerous as they said. But I mean, what fun is a story about an 8-foot lizard that didn't bother anybody?
We've lost like what 1,000 species of animal on the planet in the last 100 years
Right.
that are never coming back.
Cleopatra and mammoths existed at the same time.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's
It's
put
like-
that into perspective.
There's literally like, you know what I mean? Those guys back then were drawing on their maps, and they're like, dude, there's goddamn sea serpents here. There's sea monsters there. Don't go there. For all we know, there was a goddamn sea monster there,
Right.
and it might have been there, and it's probably not now, or it is, and I don't want to think about it.
I'm here to tell you right now, if we all didn't have National Geographic,
Yeah.
everything in that ocean that's bigger than us
Would
is
be
a sea monster.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
It's,
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, if we didn't know what whales are,
Oh my God.
you'd
Yeah.
be terrified.
even the
Look at that
smallest
thing.
whale is enormous.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely, dude. You think, dude, killer whales?
Yeah.
They're not even the biggest of the whales.
They're not a
like,
whale.
They're like, oh, they're not, aren't they?
They're not.
The blackfish.
They're orca.
Orca,
They
that's
are the biggest dolphin.
So that right there shows you that there's always that one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins are like real curious by nature, sweet. You know, they're nice, and then you got your killer whale.
Mm-hmm.
But to their defense, I think killer whales are probably nicer when they're left where they belong.
Right. We also have a whale in the fossil record that resembles, it's maybe a humpback. I don't believe it's a blue, but it's pretty close to it. That basically was a whale with alligator teeth and was twice as vicious as
Basilosaurus.
Basilosaurus, yes.
One of my favorites.
That was an angry dude.
Yeah.
And then
That's
there was a
absolutely
shark.
one of my favorites.
The shark that came around after that could unfurl its jaw and
Oh yeah. I saw I don't remember what that one's called, but I saw fossils of that where it's literally like its jaw is rolled up.
yeah.
And apparently it would like
It's
Yeah.
basically where what's his name probably got his idea for alien cooking.
dude, it was just
It's even
it was like-
freakier.
it
Yeah.
looks like a guy with like a big chew in his mouth, like
Yeah.
and he like
What about
lit-
that? Yeah, like that one.
Unfurled it like a butterfly.
Is it the
Yeah.
same one that looks like it had? Its jaw kind of looks like a buzzsaw at the bottom.
That's it.
Oh,
Isn't it?
okay.
Yeah, it
Right?
curls up.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause,
And
yeah,
it would sling
literally
it
looks
out.
like you took a saw blade and like cut it in half, and it's sitting right under its jaw, like in its mouth on its jaw.
When I first saw that as a kid, I thought that it just spun
Yeah,
and that he was just swimming around, just chopping shit up and eating it. I'm like,
he's just running into like other.
what's weird is like when I was a kid, I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about sharks because look at this thing,
Right.
you know, or underwater creatures. And now I'm like, you know, even being explained later on in life that it actually unrolled.
And
I'm
think about
still
that.
like, what?
And think about that. Your childhood education was leaps and bounds above the average adult's education in prehistory and early history.
Yeah.
So the way you were thinking then, I mean, think about any other creature you might have saw that you couldn't explain.
Yep. But you know what, guys? I got to get going because my wife raises these little miniature goats. Speaking of creatures I can't explain, and one is in labor right now with little baby goats. Probably, hopefully, they're little baby goats.
Little girl.
If it's in labor with something that isn't a goat, then that's terrifying. And we'll be back on the next episode to talk about it.
With pictures.
But yeah, like I kind of wanted to bring that the whole dragon thing up. I wanted you guys out there to throw it in the comments, like.
Because I want to dig into dragons more. And
Yeah,
come
I
back
just
to
like
this
it.
'cause
Just
this is awesome.
it baffles me. Like, do you guys think that at least that the wyvern style is real? Maybe it didn't breathe breathe fire, but
All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
like
Let's,
I kind of wanted to pick your guys' brains out there, like to see what you guys thought that what could have actually existed, because they're in history throughout. So like, how did they get to depict it, and why was they just embellished, like to make warriors sound more appealing in stories, or were they actually something out there? So yeah, hey yeah, while you put that in the comments, remember KYX for life.
Yep.
You'll enter yourself into the little raffle for this knife. Okay, just want to make sure everybody remembers
Check out our
that.
Facebook page for progress pictures on it.
Check out
and by the time we pick one of you lucky people to win the knife, we'll have a finished product sitting here, and maybe in the next episode we'll sit here and play with it while we're.
I like it.
You know,
we'll throw it at my table.
Yeah.
Well, you beautiful people, have a good night.
Y'all take care of each other out there.
See y'all.